one of the downsides of being the lecturer. Actually, there are a lot of downsides of being the lecturer at these things. One is I'm not really that fond of being a lecture guy, but besides that, like, you think the guy who does the lectures gets his food first, but that means that my food is always the coldest. So, if you want to hint, if you want to have the best food, you have to sit on the ends, because they're the ones who get served last, and they're the ones who get to eat closest to when the food is served. So, the other downside is, even though Zazen is strictly speaking not a practice about thinking, if you're doing the lectures, you towards the end of a Zazen period in which you're going to be doing a talk, you have to start thinking about what you're going to talk about, and it's kind of no avoiding that. So you have to kind of go over it, what you're going to say. And as I was kind of thinking about what I was going to say, it kind of popped into mind that rather than going directly into Dogen, I thought I'd try something different, which is to give you my little inspirational story of how Zazen helped me in a very practical way one time. And this is a story I'm sure Yuka knows all about it, but I don't think I've told it to too many people, and because it's kind of embarrassing. Well, I don't know if you'll think it's that embarrassing, but to me it's kind of embarrassing. And I wrote it up for the book I just turned in, which is going to be my second book. And I was like even embarrassed writing this. So, but I'm going to tell you anyway. But I haven't done this. Comedians have like routines and stuff. I haven't done this routine yet, so you're going to be my test audience. And if it's a laugh here, then maybe I'll take it out on the road. But here's my inspirational story of how my Zazen practice kind of helped me in a practical way. You guys, being people who live in Japan, you all know what a nengajo is, right? Or do I need to explain? Okay. You don't? Okay. Because I had to explain it in the book too. I realized that people outside Japan don't know what nengajo. Nengajo is a New Year's card, and they send out these postcards on New Year's. And the post office has a special Japanese post office has a special designation for these cards. So if the word nengajo is written in kanji in red on the address side of the card, then the post office will hold these cards. And they don't deliver them until the morning of January 1st. So everybody gets their nengajo on January 1st. Very Japanese custom, very unfamiliar to us foreigners. By the time the story had happened, I'd lived in Japan for a few years, and I kind of knew about this system, but I didn't really think too much about it, and it sort of became a crucial thing that I didn't think too much about this. Every year, our company, Tsubarai Productions, where I work, which is the makers of Ultraman, sends out a nengajo to all of our. Every company does this, to all our clients or companies we work with, and this and that, and fans, Ultraman fans get them. Certain people are members of the fan club and stuff. They get these nengajo. And every year, I work in the international division of the company. So every year we get the same nengajo, only the clients we deal with don't have that system. In fact, we're dealing mostly with people in Asia, and surprisingly enough, at least to me when I first started dealing with them, a lot of Asians celebrate Christmas. It's a big deal in Hong Kong, for example. Although it's Hong Kong is decidedly not a Christian country, but they do a big deal for Christmas, just like Japan does. And so we send out these nengajo as Christmas cards. So we send them out earlier than the rest of the company. Now, one year, the new character we introduced was Ultraman Cosmos. And Ultraman Cosmos was like a different style Ultraman. I mean, they all look kind of the same, but Ultraman Cosmos was like blue instead of red, you know, but basically looked the same as every other Ultraman, other than the fact that he was blue. But this is a big deal to fans, right? So it was a secret that Ultraman Cosmos was blue, you know, and that it was this new style thing. And we kind of been told that early on, but then like in early or mid-December, a bunch of Nengajo arrived on the table in my office, and I saw them, and they sat there for a day and 2 days and 3 days, maybe a week, I'm not sure, a while. They sat there, and I started thinking, well, you know, I better start sending these things out, because otherwise, because of the Christmas mail rush and all that, they're not going to make it in time. So I picked up 2 cards, addressed them to a couple of guys I knew in America who were like fans who had websites, and they were like pretty loyal supporters of the company, the few we have outside of Japan or outside of Asia. So I addressed them and sent them off, and I was going to do some more, but something came up and I didn't finish them. And about a week later, I get this like urgent, strange call from our production department to come down to their office immediately. I'm like, oh, what's that about? So I went down there, and they show me this this website, and on the website is our Nengajo. And they're saying, what is this? And I said, well, that's our New Year's card, you know. Why is it on this website? And I'm like, well, you know, I sent it out to the guy that runs this website, you know, because that's what we do. And they got all completely bent out of shape over this. And it took me a while, because I'm dumb, to figure out what the problem was, you know, because this is what we always did. And it kind of dawned on me. Actually, no, I don't think anybody actually told me this. It was just kind of assumed that I ought to know, and maybe I should have. That these Nengajo were, they had timed the what do you call it, debut of the character, so that nobody would know what it looked like until January 1st by putting it on Nengajo. So it meant that if you were in Japan, it didn't matter when you put these in the post box. Nobody was going to see it until January 1st. But I put these in a post box with and sent them to America. And these guys, being what they fans as they were, they put them up immediately, and it was like a week ahead of time that these guys got it, and it was all over. It was on their website. So immediately I did what I needed to, which I called the guy who had the website. And luckily, he was in California, so the time difference, wasn't such that it was really late. Probably 10 at night, something. And I called him and asked him to take it down. He's like, "Yeah, I'll take it down immediately." And he got it down within like 15 minutes or so. It was off. But everybody was going completely ape crap. I'm trying to censor myself this way. Everybody's going completely nuts all over this thing, and they were all extremely mad at me for having done this terrible, heinous act, and revealed their character ahead of time. And I was told that they were going to have this big meeting of all the department heads of the entire company. And I was going to have to go in and explain myself to all of them. So this is a big deal, and they're like, this whole thing kind of blew up around 11 in the morning. They'd scheduled this meeting for 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon, to get everybody together. And as I'm looking at all these things going on, and all these people going crazy, and everybody getting mad at me, and doing this thing to try to make things as hard as possible, I was kind of struck by the fact that I didn't feel the least bit nervous or upset about any of this going on. It was sort of like almost surreal, like watching a play or something. And I knew